Hello everybody and welcome to another video. First of all, I'd like to apologise for not uploading in the last few days, but a very dear friend of mine has been going through a rather personal tragedy and I've been trying to be there to help and support them. So I've not been able to do videos. But we're here today and we're going to be looking at an artist who goes by the name of Clayshaper. Now, there is very, very little information about this artist online. All that I can tell you is that the artist is Swedish, and the music they produce is melodic progressive death metal, and is inspired by the likes of Dark Tranquillity, In Flames, and Opeth. But like I said, there's very, very little else known about the artist, so there's not really much more I can tell you about that. Now, a little while ago, I got contacted by this artist and asked if I could review their upcoming EP, which is being released on February 20th. It is actually being released on my birthday, so I was quite intrigued by it. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I would listen to some of his previous music, because I've not heard of the artist before, so I thought, you know, I'll check out some of their previous music and share it with you, and before I do the review for the upcoming EP. I call it an EP, it's actually an 8-track album. However, it's an 8-track album, but there's only 4 tracks. There's like, the first 4 tracks are musical tracks with vocals on. The final 4 tracks are the same as the first 4 tracks, only purely instrumental versions. And the EP itself is called Celestian, and is being released, like I said, February 20th. So I will be writing a review of that soon and putting that up on my Facebook page. But for the time being, we're going to be looking at a track called Golem, which, as I understand it, is the most recent release by the artist, off a 2-track EP. The name of it actually escapes me at this moment, but we should be looking at this. So I'm very interested to see what this is like, because I haven't actually listened to the Celestian EP yet. So yeah. We'll see what this is like. I've got some lyrics here because the lyrics were indeed posted under the video. So we'll jump to it. I've been waffling for 3 minutes now. So Golem by Clayshaper. Very, very apt name, actually. ended very abruptly. But there we go. That was Golem by Clayshaper, which, as I said, just as the track started, seemed to be a very apt name, given a golem is like a lifeless creature created out of clay. It was actually pretty good, as I understand it, because he is a solo artist. He actually does all of the music himself, like the drums, the guitars, all of that. As far as I understand, he does it all himself. He's like independent of any record labels as well, so I'm guessing he does pretty much everything, like mixing and whatnot. That's as far as I can tell, as far as I know. Yes, that was quite interesting. You know, there's obviously the melodic death metal going on there. Not as he calls it progressive. There are certain elements in there that I would definitely say are in line with what I've heard from progressive metal, but not. It's not that sort of fiddly, pretentious, fret wanky, you know, unnecessarily complex progressive metal that seems to float around with most people. But it was quite good. I quite enjoyed that, actually. From what I understand, from what I've read, he's released like maybe a handful of singles and a 2-track EP. All of these were released throughout 2019, I believe. I could be mistaken in that. So he's a relatively new artist. He's obviously worked very hard to achieve what he's gotten so far, and you know, it's not too bad. The lyrics to the song, they weren't exactly like deep or complicated, you know, but it's basically talking about a golem, you know, a sort of mindless hunk of clay that's been brought to life of sorts, you know, a sort of animated lump of clay, as it were. And the lyrics simply go, "Wake up and listen to me. Let us raise a chalice to thee, my creation. Golem, the secret of life stolen, a warrior born from clay. Open your gemstone eyes. You must bring them to their demise, my ally, my friend, my love. Golem, the secret of life stolen, a warrior born from clay. Golem, a secret of life stolen, a warrior born from clay." And that is simply it. So he's basically talking about raising a golem from the earth, sending it forth to do your bidding, which is essentially what they were. They were essentially puppets that were like giants made out of mud, dirt, clay, etc., and sent into battle or whatever to destroy the allies. You know, it's got no feeling, so it's not going to suffer when it gets wounded or killed. You know, you can easily just raise another one, and that's essentially all it was. And that's what you're talking about there. So it's not like a particularly deep sort of story, but there is a meaning behind it in a sense. I quite enjoyed it. The video was quite intriguing as well. I mean, him sitting there with all that clay and dirt on his face. I'm wondering if that was actually proper mud, or if there was some sort of mixture going on there, because it seemed very, very stringy and like didn't quite seem the right texture for most mud that I've ever experienced, but I don't know. But it was very, very interesting. And like I said, I've got that EP to listen to and to write a review on, which I shall be doing. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, I've not actually listened to it yet. It's been sitting in my to-do list for a little while because I've had other things to write up before that one. But I shall definitely be giving that a listen with great interest. Because, yeah, I might have to check out some of the older material of this guy as well, because yeah, so that was very interesting. Like I said, you could definitely, you know, the death metal element was definitely the most forefront of all of it. Like I said, the progressive wasn't as obvious, but there was hints of it there. Oh yeah. You know, there's definitely hints of the progressive metal there, and yeah, very interesting. And like I said, if he's doing it all himself, you know, that's very impressive. You know, I'm always quite jealous of multi-instrumentalists, because, you know, I can't even play one instrument successfully. Never mind somebody that can play everything. So, yes. Interesting. But I can't really think of much else to say about that at the moment, so I'll leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or even through my Patreon, where you can also help to support this channel and help me create future content. There is also an option there to get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue. There are a couple of rules and restrictions going on with that option, in order to be fair to people who suggest tracks through regular means. If you do suggest tracks through regular means, do know it might take me a while to get around to it, since I get suggested so many new tracks every single day that my my list grows faster than I can actually record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It's just going to take me a while to get around to it, I'm afraid. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those aimed at people of the alternative culture, but it really essentially wants to put an end to all hate crimes. But their main focus is people of the alternative community, and it's something I believe in very, very strongly, something I'm very, very passionate about, because it's something I've had to deal with for most of my life, and it's something I think definitely needs more attention bringing to it, and something needs to be done about it, because, you know, every single day, all around the world, people of the alternative community are getting violently attacked. Verbally, physically, you know, mentally, they are getting violently attacked just purely because of their taste in music or their taste in clothes. And things are getting beyond ridiculous. You know, it's getting out of control when people are getting hospitalised, brutally beaten, getting bones broken just because of their taste in music. You know, it's utterly ridiculous, but it's happening all over the place, all over the world, every single day, and nothing is getting done about it. So the people perpetrating these crimes are literally just getting away with it, and that needs to stop. These people need to know that there are consequences to their actions. They need to know that they can't get away with this shit, you know. Because every single day we hear about all these other hate crimes like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism. You know, we hear about these sort of things every single day from every end of the spectrum, from like the most heinous and violent of these crimes where people are getting murdered, you know, down to the most pathetic and petty where people are phoning the police because someone of a different skin colour is eating a picnic in a public space, you know. We see all variations of these crimes every single day, but we hear nothing about these people that are getting brutally beaten to within an inch of their life just because of their taste in music. And people have said to me, this isn't a hate crime. It is the very essence of a hate crime. People are getting violently attacked because somebody hates something about that person. They hate a specific trait about that person, whether it be the colour of their skin, their religion, their sexual orientation, or their taste in music. It is the very essence of a hate crime. And, you know, these people, you know, some of these people are getting hospitalised, some of these people are having bones broken, some of these people are having more invasive injuries, whether they're being shot, stabbed, what have you, you know. And these people are getting hospitalised, nothing is getting said. There is no recognition of the fact. The last time there was any widespread recognition of this happening was 12 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people and beaten so severely they both ended up in comas. Now, Rob Maltby, he survived, thankfully. He was in a coma for maybe a week or so, but he survived. Sophie Lancaster was in a coma for 13 days before she died. She was basically beaten to death just because she listened to alternative music. And this was 12 years ago, and that was the last time there was any widespread media coverage of this. And that's not good enough, because I can guarantee in the 12 years since Sophie Lancaster died, hundreds, if not thousands of people in the alternative community have been attacked in similar fashion. But nothing's been said because no one has died. It shouldn't take the death of someone for this to be spoken about. You know, it shouldn't take a tragedy like that to be spoken about. It's unacceptable, and that needs to change. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening. They want to get more people talking about this. You know, they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks. You know, they want to stop what happened to their daughter ever happening again. It should never have happened in the first place. But we most certainly cannot allow it to happen ever again. And it's very, very important that we get more people talking about this. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, you know, obviously don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, even if it's like a small donation through their website or something as simple as Sophie wristband off their web store, you know, they've got other merch as well, but, you know, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference, and the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we can bring more awareness of the fact that this is happening, and the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.